Mute off. Okay, there we go now. So I'll be reading from Who Moved My Cheese. And how did I come to get this book, Who Moved My Cheese? Well, one day I was doing some spring cleaning, and we were taking some of our children's uh, lightly used clothes and shoes to the thrift store. Now, it's amazing the things you can find in the thrift store. But on this particular occasion, we wanted to donate a lot of our used clothes for somebody in need, right? Because at some point in our lives, we need some help, right? So we donated that. And I love going to this thrift store because of one thing: books. They have lots and lots of books. And so I saw this book, Who Moved My Cheese? And I've been hearing about this book for a long time, Who Moved My Cheese? And I thought I would get it. So I got the book among many other books, and it has built my library. The thrift store has built my library to lots of books. I haven't read all of them yet, but I intend to read all of them, and it makes me feel so intelligent just having these books and just sitting around these books. So I hope that as you listen and watch this reading, whether live or on the replay, that you will come back time and time again to hear about this story about change. And we all go through this change. So, which part of all of us will you be? The simple and the complex. The four imaginary characters depicted in the story, the mice, Sniff and Scurry, and the little people, Hem and Haw, are intended to represent the simple and the complex parts of ourselves, regardless of our age, gender, race, or nationality. Sometimes we may act like Sniff, who sniffs out change early, or Scurry, who scurries into action, or Hem, who denies and resists change as he fears it will lead to something worse, or Haw, who learns to adapt in time when he sees changing can lead to something better. Whichever parts of us we choose to use, we all share something in common: a need to find our way in the maze and succeed in changing times. And isn't that true? We need to succeed in changing times. And if you look at a tree is always changing. A plant is always changing, going from one form to the other. A day is always changing. No 2 days are the same. So we have to succeed in changing times. That's what we're all searching for, to succeed in changing times. The Story Behind the Story by Kenneth Blanchard, PhD. So he wrote the foreword for this book, Who Moved My Cheese? And I read: I am thrilled to be telling you the story behind the story of Who Moved My Cheese, because it means the book has now been written and is available for all of us to read, enjoy, and share with others. This is something I've wanted to see happen ever since I first heard Spencer Johnson tell his great cheese story years ago before he wrote our book, The One Minute Manager, together. I remember thinking then how good the story was and how helpful it would be to me for that moment on, from that moment on. Who Moved My Cheese is a story about change that takes place in a maze where four amazing characters look for cheese, in quotes. Cheese being a metaphor for what we want to have in life, whether it is a job, a relationship, money, a big house, freedom, health, recognition, spiritual peace, or even an activity like jogging or golf. Each of us has our own idea of what cheese is, and we pursue it because we believe it makes us happy. And don't we want to be happy? I'm sure we do. If we get it, we often become attached to it. And if we lose it or it's taken away, it can be traumatic. The maze in the story represents where you spend time looking for what you want. It can be the organization you work in, the community you live in, or the relationships you have in your life. I tell you the cheese story that you are about to read in my talks around the world, and often hear later from people about what a difference it has made to them. Believe it or not, this little story has been credited with improving careers, marriages, and lives. One of the many real life examples comes from Charlie Jones, a well respected broadcaster for NBC TV, who revealed that hearing the story of Who Moved My Cheese saved his career. His job as a broadcaster is unique, but the principles he learned can be used by anyone. Here's what happened. Charlie had worked hard and had done a great job of broadcasting track and field events at an earlier Olympic Games. So he was surprised and upset when his boss told him he'd been removed from these showcase events for the next Olympics and assigned to swimming and diving. Not knowing these sports as well, he was frustrated. He felt unappreciated and he became angry. He said he felt it wasn't fair. His anger began to affect everything he did. Then he heard the story of Who Moved My Cheese. After that, he said he laughed at himself and changed his attitude. He realized his boss had just moved his cheese, so he adapted. He learned the two new sports and in the process found that doing something new made him feel young. It wasn't long before his boss recognized his new attitude and energy, and he soon got better assignments. He went on to enjoy more success than ever and was later inducted into Pro Football's Hall of Fame, Broadcasters Alley. That's just one of the many real life stories I've heard about the impact this story has had on people from their work life to their love life. I'm such a strong believer in the power of Who Moved My Cheese that I gave a copy of an early pre publication edition to everyone, more than 200 people working with our company. Why? Because like every company that wants to not only survive in the future but stay competitive, the Ken Blanchard companies are consistently or constantly changing. They keep moving our cheese. While in the past we may have wanted loyal employees, today we need flexible people who are not possessive about the way things are done around here. And yet, as you know, living in constant whitewater with the changes occurring all the time at work or in life can be stressful unless people have a way of looking at change that helps them understand it. Enter the cheese story. When I told people about the story and then they got to read Who Moved My Cheese, you can almost feel the release of negative energy beginning to occur. Person after person from every department went out of their way to thank me for the book and told me how helpful it had been to them already in seeing the changes going on in our company in a different light. Believe me, this brief parable takes little time to read, but its impact can be profound. As you turn the pages, you will find three sections in this book. In the first, a gathering. Former classmates talk at a class reunion about trying to deal with the changes happening in their lives. The second section is a story of Who Moved My Cheese, which is the core of the book. In this story, you will see that the two mice do better when they are faced with change because they keep things simple, while the two little people's complex brains and human emotions complicate things. It is not that mice are smarter. We all know people are more intelligent than mice. However, as you watch what the four characters do and realize both the mice and the little people represent parts of ourselves, the simple and the complex, you can see it would be to our advantage to do the simple things that work when things change. In the third section, a discussion, people discuss what the story meant to them and how they are going to use it in their work and in their lives. Some readers of this book's early manuscript preferred to stop at the end of the story, that's section 2, without reading further and interpret its meaning for themselves. Others enjoyed reading a discussion that followed because it stimulated their thinking about how they might apply what they'd learned to their own situation. Everyone knows that not all change is good or even necessary, but in a world that is constantly changing, it is to our advantage to learn how to adapt and enjoy something better. In any case, I hope each time you reread Who Moved My Cheese, you will find something new and useful in the brief story, as I do, and that it will help you deal with change and bring you success, whatever you decide success is for you. I hope you enjoy what you discover, and I wish you well. Remember, move with the cheese. This is by Kenneth Blanchard. So I'll stop here for today, and in our next video, we will start with section one, the gathering, where we will see what that is all about. I hope, well, it is my desire that you enjoy the reading today and that it will inspire you to do even greater things. The theme for this channel is to lead with integrity, inspire you to be the best that you can be, and to grow, and also to smile because a smile is healthy for you. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, share the link with your friends, and invite as many persons as you can to come and take part in this live event. Thank you for being a part, and I wish you all the best that life has to offer in this season of change. See you and continue to lead, inspire, and smile. Take care.